Hello everyone, thank you for joining me once again for another thought for the day. Believe it or not, this is the last thought for the day of June. This is the 30th of June, and believe it or not, another month has flown by. So thank you for joining me, and before I go any further, those of you who are regular listeners to the thought for the day slot will know that it's done Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's posted just about 9 o'clock. You can watch them anytime you want, of course. But for the last wee while, Guy Finney has been doing the morning talk, the Monday talks, and he's always very appreciative and he's always very thankful for being allowed to do that. So I just thought I would like to reciprocate and, on your behalf, say to Guy that we do appreciate his contributions. And well, I'm sure you've noticed the contrasting styles between myself and Guy, but it's a delight to have him on a Monday, and we appreciate all his contributions, and we hope that he'll keep them coming. Now, when I say I hope we will all keep them coming, there may be a wee break. I'll be away on holiday sometime in August, so we may have to reschedule things or take a little break during that month, but nothing's been decided yet. I'll let you know in good time. But anyway, today's thought has been prompted by what I was doing earlier this morning. So I want to talk to you for a wee while about rubbish. Now, listen to what I've said. I'm talking about rubbish. I'm not talking rubbish. Okay, it's not a rubbish talk, it's a talk about rubbish. So get that clear, first of all. Now, all I mean by that is we're having a wee bit of a clear out here in the house, and there's a lot of things in the shed in the garden that I've been meaning to get rid of for quite some time, and I've been promising Patricia that I would get rid of this stuff for quite some time as well. So this morning I took the bull by the horns, put the back seats of the car down, and put as much stuff as I could in the back of the car to take to the dump. Well, that's what I call it anyway, the dump. I think I should more correctly call it the council tip, or maybe that's old-fashioned now as well. I took it to the recycling depot. That's what I did. Okay. So I loaded the car up and said, this is great, I'm going to get rid of all this finally. And I drove over to the dump on the way to Denny there at Roughmute. And of course, when I arrived at the gate, I'd forgotten that it was Wednesday and that the dump is actually, the recycling depot is closed on Tuesday and Wednesday. I'd forgot about that. So I'm sitting there with the gate closed in front of me, and I'm saying to myself, well, you know, is the Lord telling me I shouldn't get rid of this stuff at all? Is this a sign that maybe I should just take it all back home and put it back in the shed? And I thought about that for about 2 seconds, because I realised what Patricia would have said if I come back with all the same junk. So what I did was I was determined to get rid of what was in the car. So I actually drove over to the other recycling depot, which is over at Bowness. So it wasn't too far, it was an extra 20 minutes in the car or whatever, but I drove over there and I was able to get rid of all my junk and donate it to whatever cause over there. And Patricia was delighted when I came home and the car was empty. And I must admit myself, I had a sort of a feel-good factor come over me as well. I was able to get rid of all this stuff that was no longer needed, that was cluttering up the place, and it was time for it to go. So there we are, it's gone. Now, with that in mind, I want to read a very important text which we find in the book of Hebrews in the New Testament. Just read a part of Hebrews 12 and verse 1. Those of you who are aware of this verse will know where I'm going with this already, perhaps. It says in the middle of Hebrews 12 and 1, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us. And then we're told that we can run with endurance the race that is set before us. So the writer to the Hebrews, he's talking about life, and he's saying, look, there's stuff that you need to get rid of. You've got to lay aside every weight. You've got to put off the sin that traps, that ensnares you. So the principle is quite simple. If there's something that's holding you back, if there's some junk in your life, well, the best thing you can do is to get rid of it. You don't want to carry that rubbish around with you forever and forever and forever. Best to jettison it, best to get rid of it. And it can be difficult. Sometimes, like me this morning, going to the wrong dump, sometimes you can try to get rid of it and it just doesn't work. And you have to persevere. You really do need to understand that whatever it is that's in your life, whatever it is that you're doing, you've got to get rid of it if it's hindering your Christian walk, your walk with the Lord. So sometimes you have to be a wee bit more determined than you would normally be. But when you do persevere, when you do get rid of whatever it is that you've been allowing to stay in your life, or you've been putting up with it, when you do get rid of it, you do have that feel-good factor which comes over you, and then you realise, there was something wanting inside me, there was something prompting me to hold on to that. But I took the step, I got rid of it, and I feel better for it. And not only will you feel better for it, but if it shouldn't have been there in the first place, the Lord will be pleased that you've made the effort and you've finally done it. So I'll leave that wee verse with you, Hebrews 12 and verse 1. Let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us, because we are in a race, a Christian race. And many people tell you it's a marathon, it's not a sprint, and you've got to run it with endurance, and it's the race that is set before you. So there you have it. I don't think that'll be the last time I'll be at the dump. Patricia has a whole lot of other things that need to be thrown out as well. So it's an ongoing process for ourselves here in the house. Again, exactly the same in life. It's an ongoing process. Just because you get rid of some stuff now doesn't mean that you're not going to have to get rid of some stuff in the future. You've always got to keep on top of this. You've always got to be aware and conscious of what you should be doing and what you could be doing, and of course get away from what you shouldn't be doing, and clearing out your life, decluttering and getting rid of the rubbish. So there you are. I will stop now and go back, and I don't know what's lined up for me now, but anyway, I hope you're all keeping safe. I trust that you're keeping well. Keep an ear out for more information from government and councils regarding what we can and cannot do, regarding ourselves and regarding worship as well. And hopefully we'll be able to move in the right direction, open up and get back into church together in the way we want before too long. So keep safe, keep praying, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. So until then, it's yet another bye for now.